my Aries musers. So being that this is actually your first house, what does that look like? This is the house of self. So it's kind of pushing or nudging or tugging at you to nurture, get clarity on your personal brand, your identity, becoming inspired like fire, lighting the flame, expressing yourself in a very maybe unfiltered way, organic. Maybe you get all fired up. Maybe you take that bold leap of faith from the full moon. And given that this is happening or in harmonizing with Jupiter, the planet of luck, and whatever Jupiter touches, it grows. It reminds me of the rabbits in the 4 pillars of Chinese astrology, rabbits. So whether you're stepping out into the sun, the spotlight on your own, a passion, maybe taking a different empowered approach towards love. Inshallah and Ashe, blessings to you, my energetic beings. The divine wills, blessings to you, I should say. You 300 plus. Are we going to hit the magic number of 400 or 444? I'm all about those numerologies. So share the excitement with your friends along with other like-minded virtual musers. Either way, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Have you watched the shorts on YouTube that I created? I did create some shorts for the eclipse new moon for your musing pleasure. Be sure to check back for your rising sign. And of course, welcome to the new moon, solar eclipse, the reality of what is in alignment, aligned integrity with who we are is commanding our energy. It's actually directing it. It's like the forces of adversity. So with that, turn on the notification bell, hit that white rabbit, do so right now. It's the only way that we can, or that I can, make certain that the algorithm is going to give you the nutritional quotient that we all deserve, the heartfelt alignment, if you will, the value quotient, the optimistic venue, the love quotient, which is actually most important. So while we're waiting for people to hop on, joining us live, listen to the replay, tune in the afternoon or whatever timeline you're on, existing in. Again, the way you treat yourself is the way that the world treats you. And myself, I am meant to be a disruptor, disrupting the status quo. So with that being said, power versus force. Have you read that book? You may be feeling a little tested in the arena or the area of who you are, your authenticity, being in integrity, disrupting the field. So being true to who you are, authentically becoming. However, the key is actually to respond to this initiation inside of ourselves by being loving to ourselves, to who we are becoming, how we're blossoming out of the cocoon. Then we'll actually see the world around us by divine design, reflecting what is in alignment that resonates to be true and authentic to who you are inside and out, heartfelt, a resonance field through this initiation. So it really is almost like a death and a rebirthing, which I'll get to in a moment. But this is the moment during the eclipse that actually has this vital energy. It's eclectic, maybe shocking frequency. You may actually already start feeling it. Just know the only person that authentically truly matters is you to you, the relationship that we actually have to ourselves. So it's time to actually treat ourselves better than ever before, being authentic to who we are. The only person we need to prove anything to is to ourselves, nothing outside of ourselves. It's the game of life in a way. So with that, welcome to my show. My name is Tonya D. Welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. YouTube, where you're probably tuning in. And also my Musing with Tonya D podcast. I have amazing podcasters this season with my Musing of Tonya D, Season of the Witches. But we're in the season of Aries, kind of finishing up, taking it up to the highest notch, if you will, where our root center, the sacral, and our highest of hearts are all in alignment. So you may be filling in those universal streams already. But before I go any further, let's once again give a shout out to my village, my tribe. It's definitely growing, excelling. Thank you for entering my community, my village, new subscribers and all. I always like to give a validation, a voice of acknowledgement and recognition to my new friends, and also welcome my original subscribers that have been with my show. But my intention truly is to hit 444 peeps by the end of this month. And so yeah, if you don't mind sharing the journey. It really does take a tribe, a community, a village, but gratitude and blessings always for you and to you. Thanks for tuning in, joining my show, even if you do watch the replay later. And just remember a comment if you feel like you need a message for your day. I do pull a card for each day, changing that up. Sharing is just another way of paying it forward. And of course, you can also find me on TikTok, which I'm changing things up there as well. Just remember, I'm your otherworldly shamanic reflecting assistant. You truly are your own healer, but we're kind of having some energetic hiccups. Have you noticed? And you might need a one-on-one cowrie shell divination or an otherworldly life coach assistant, myself included, to really get us out of our own magical way so that our light shines even brighter. And the daily snippet, what's this all about? Well, I like to bring in the cosmic insights, the planets doing their cosmic dance. By design, I do follow the lunar energies of the moon through the seasons and also through the gates, human design. I don't have any gate activity happening today, maybe Friday afternoon, I think, or late in midnight or something. But we have our root channel, our physical empathy channel, physical things in the physical dimension, along with our emotional feeling empathy, our feeling sister, different kinesthetic gifts. And we're bringing it home. And I knew that was going to happen. Hang on 1 second. I'm back. What's all the excitement about? Well, that's what happens when you have a live show in your house. But either way, it's about bringing it all home, making everything become physical, bringing it, who we are, into this reality, holding space, the signature tone, along with the elements in the 4 pillars. I do a mystery guest on Sundays, which is super fun. I bring in the elementals of your 4 pillars and your useful ingredients, along with the subtle energy centers, the chakras, so much more. And I bring in the channels sometimes, which we've got some channels open today. Even the auric fields. And as a reflector, I always ask myself, is it the right time? Am I with the right people? What am I seeing that nobody else can see? Or what am I sensing even? What is the movement that I'm creating? And what is the solution that I'm creating within my movement? So this initiation that's taking place a few days ago created the domino effect for today. So this is an energy of things becoming material, manifested in this reality, in our life. So the integrity of who we are within and to ourselves, for ourselves. Everything in our world may feel a little bit overly real, a little too real. The hypergate of awareness to the finite details, if you will, the little things, the finites. So be in the flow with the world falling together in front of our eyes, leaving the details to go with the winds of change, which you're going to see what happened in my window. So you may see all the leaves of the winds like really floating by. All the initiations, the actions, the plans of actions. So we're kind of being tested on our flavor, our main ingredients, our character, our behaviors, not just towards ourselves, but how we treat ourselves is how the world outside of us is really going to treat us. So have you invested in yourself over the course of this year or in others? So we do get the tests of all tests. It reminds me of Young Guns, testing our capabilities, our skills, our integrity of all the things, especially today. And as the world turns, or the world, turns around us, and it may feel as though, or even appear like everything's falling apart, breaking down, or in my case, blowing over. So this is the test of the cosmic highway streams, the cosmic broadcast, what's being broadcasted outside of us and inside of us, testing us in what we're creating. And being in a space of this divine connection, the God spot, to what we feel, our feelings are the place to be. So what are you feeling? Are you in your authenticity? So whatever forces of adversity come on this day, the way to respond to this energy is to be just hyper attentive to who you are inside of yourself, nurturing and responding to your feelings, validating them, instead of the winds or the leaves that are changing upon us, the outer world situations, and focus on our inner quality, the quality of our inner world, transforming the energy, the inner support system, if you will, and add more self-love to our inner support, seeing how far you've actually come over the forces of adversity, the challenges, the disruptions to our emotional field. So keep doing a full pour of love. And when you do this with love, you're going to feeling the molecules of joy, of love in your essence, in your body. So we're in the streams of a new beginning, the death of one thing so the new thing can be rebirthed. And being in a year of transformation, we're really authentically moving into a new place, a new space of who we are, hopefully within integrity, being in alignment, integrity to our soul. So focus on the inner waters, your inner self, your inner child. Things are flowing and moving as any energetic hiccups come to your front door. Come about, it might be within your character, your flavor, your behavior. But the key is having ultimate faith and really embracing. You got to hold the keynote of faith, I'm telling you. Embracing your heart. Do a double dose of self-love, chocolate, if that's your thing, inside and outside, especially during the winds of change. For myself, sometimes I feel like nobody listens to me and I talk to myself, which seems to work. But with that, just a few announcements. Of course, I do have the Musing Moon meditation out on the highway. And I also have some shorts on YouTube for each of the signs that are up and flowing out there, all for the moon. And we also have the Season of the Witches. I do have Wag the Tell, which is this week's episode podcast. There she is. Shannon Grissom, which is a funny story. This is an oracle deck called the Sock Monkeys. And she actually changed the thumbnail because it said Season of the Witches. So there's some humor there if you can feel into that. But be sure to tune in on Musing with Tonya D, my podcast, and really comment your favorite audio room artists so I can interview them, have them on the show again. You can, of course, find me Apple, Spotify, or just go to my website. And again, on Sundays, the mystery guest for the 4 pillars. I do have that happening as well. There we go. And so if you're curious and would like me to look at your 4 pillars chart of destiny, that would be fun. It's all about the fun of the mystery guest, right? And then we have the Witcher's Way to Manifestation. Why? Because we all manifest and attract differently. It's energy, frequency, vibration, but it's also bringing things into reality from the heavenly realm. So it's kind of a building and a fortifying of our foundation, going possibly into our own root chambers, cleansing the dust out of there. But I also do cowrie shell divinations. Divinations came to the West from Elder Melodoma Somé. I've been a protege, a student of his since 2012, 2014, somewhere in there. I can't exactly remember, until he transitioned into the realm of the ancestors. So if you're in need of some soul support, I do cowrie shell divinations. And also, we're still going to Mongolia. If you're interested, I still have a little bit of room there, a little leeway. But on the elemental highway, I did bring in the hour of the solar eclipse, at least in my village. I'm pretty much sure it's the same. But we've got a yin fire goat of a day. And what's curious is all the heavenly stems are creating the branches, or feeding them. So yin fire actually creates yin earth. That would be a resource. Yang fire also creates the dragon, which is yang earth, the big mountain. Yin water and the rabbit is sustaining or feeding the rabbit. And we still have the hour of the tiger, that eastern direction, which is wealth and abundance, producing. It's spring energy, it's vitality, it's energy circulation, life force. So the goat has wood in storage. Nature is birthing. So this is really an inward day. It's very yin energy. We have fire energy, a ritual of fire, a candle, a knife, the metal and the hours, where that's coming from, yin metal, so it's refined. Even at the hour, yin metal does even produce water. So it really is the heavens shining down upon us, nurturing us. And our day is warming. We've got dry earth, we've got wet earth, we have smooth, nurturing kind of a performance. And we have a more radical performance, innovative is what I like, actually, more eclectic. And the rabbit is also feeding the month, the fire. And water is our ambition, being in authority, being in the flow. So we have all of the elementals. So invoke words, bring in words from the universe, maybe affirming words, just always say, life is always working out in my favor for my highest and greatest good. Metal is a great idea. Again, crystals, installing some crystals, unrefined crystals, go out into nature, create a village with like-minded users. Community is kind of what I'm feeling in storytelling. The world is coming together as the world is also breaking apart or falling apart. But the missing elements are yang wood and yang metal. We do have the yin and yang water, yin and yang fire, yin and yang earth. So again, these are the elementals by design are working in our favor, but unrefined metal or crystals and being out in nature, a big tree, mine blew over, which I'll show you a picture of, very curious. And I'm a yang wood person, so I am a standalone person. So I do feel as if I'm definitely in the winds of change. I found it very curious that my fairy realm mound tree fell over. But the message for today, like I told you on Monday, if you tuned in on Monday, we've got the Six of Cups, which I'm loving, actually. This is our emotion. So you may be feeling especially emoting today, especially with this initiating great change, this moon. The six, this is like, what are we able to open up our heart to really accept and be in receivership of? The attitude of gratitude and just being in receivership, seeing the goodness as things are falling apart. Venus is in Gemini, so we're kind of affirming some positive words. What is the voice inside saying to you? What are the words you use to yourself? Hopefully you're responding with inner kindness. And the Six of Cups really brings us joy. It's a moment of nostalgia. It's also magic, which I love. We all need magic. And it's offering us a sweeter side of life, kind of the sweetness of life. So if that's speaking out to you or actually finding you, don't be surprised if you really find yourself kind of glowing and embracing life, kind of the childlike wonder, being enthusiastic, overly excited maybe. So it's kind of a message to bring us opportunities, maybe connecting to the inner child, the playful side, those aspects of who we are inside of us authentically, going back to the childlike wonder. Maybe you're finding new activities or fun opportunities that either you have experienced and some reason you quit, or things that you've yet to experience before. It's all about the inner child, the quality of the inner child, bringing out the excitement and the love, or the personal joy, really. And often, as we evolve, I don't know why, adults, we get stuck and just kind of mesmerized even on watching little kids, how fun they are and how excited they are about life. There's a purity there. There's a loving attitude, an attitude of self-gratitude and love that can really grow kind of, I don't want to say cynical, but kind of dusty, I guess, with age, time, and space. However, the message here is it's a wonderful time to go to childlike wonder, to find that energy again, to be in that place of pure authenticity and love and joy and creativity and fun within ourselves, just allowing it to kind of spill forward or overflow out of us, and maybe greeting other people from the space and place. It really is a time where we want to kind of reconnect and have community, culture, village, from maybe a different time and place, possibly a different landscape, possibly in our lives, maybe that nostalgic kind of feeling. But there's often a caveat there. We cannot live in the past, right? And even though the nostalgia kind of has that smoke and mirrors element to it, it may also feel like old times again. But often, more often than not, when the moment's passed, it really has passed. There's really no way of creating it over again. The excitement and the fun, right? It's already had its habitat. So the magic is kind of happening for us and all around us all of the time. If we just take the moment to take the pause and the breath as the day comes to its apex. The forces of adversity kind of maybe they start appearing. Just remember, it's a test of all tests, the cosmic kind of broadcast system. So, really being authentic to who we are and greeting ourselves, opening yourself to your own love inside of yourself, feeling that love, the love, hopefully it's shining through. Maybe you're singing it through your heart, your chalice. Maybe you're humming it, a new beat in your heart, a new tone. So as the day becomes full, when we're integrating, you may need to adjust some of those integral kind of responses, those vitality checking points, if you will, out into the auric field, bringing it forward. So as you get a sneak peek into what your life is becoming and moving forward into the future, there may be those moments where you take a breath, you take a pause, where you're kind of feeling who you are inside of yourself, this new birthing of you coming out of the cocoon, moments where you may be feeling the old you dissipating. What matters the most, though, is that your inner support team, your guides, you stay in clarity, water, focused on that feeling, water, getting in the flow of self-love to yourself, flowing continually, truly feeling it, so it emanates outside of you for all of the world to see. What glimmers is gold. Let your light shine brighter. And really having an inner knowing that we are becoming our greatest asset to ourselves and for ourselves. So I would really affirm life is always working for my greatest and highest good. And maybe I'm beaconing, maybe I'm beaming my greatest elevated self. Besides becoming it, I am elevating it and I am lighting my own stage. Make it tangible, bringing it into reality. There's no stepping on each other's toes or those stones. Myself, I'm going to be doing a ritual with my tree, my fairy mound, Tingon, apparently. I truly am. I got to show you this picture before I forget. Oh, where is she? Where did I put it? Hang on. Let's see. Oh, there you are. Look at this. You cannot, that's my tree. I'm definitely in the winds of change. The whole thing blew over. I'm so sad. And it really feels actually quite surreal. But yeah, that's what's happening in my village. So with that, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for allowing Thor to bark in the background. Winds of change. So much for telling people not to ring your doorbell because you're going live. And I will see you on the other side. But go do a ritual. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a bunch. My village is transforming in all stages. You know, I can't do anything little. It's always got to be big or none. Ashe, blessings. Thanks for tuning in.
So old, and they're way younger than I am now, you know. And so here I was, this kid painting with these women, and they were so amazing, just wise and generous, and it was just an incredible experience. So I didn't have necessarily formal training, and I painted in high school, and then went off to college, started working, and didn't do, I pretty much stopped doing anything like that until I was 32. And then as I was working, work was just really stressful. And I'm like, you know what? I've got to get back to my creativity. I just totally let it go. And so I took this adult painting class, and I remember painting this one adult ed painting class. I painted this apple, and I remember thinking someday I could paint a whole still life with lots of things. So, and so I did this, and it was like, oh, this is what I need to do. I mean, this is, I've got